Sooner Scoop HD.
Weeks of spring practices, how's it been going, particularly with the running back room?
I thought we've added some pieces obviously with the young guys. They've done a good job at obviously the tempo of things and the physicality of things. Obviously, you can always be more physical as a whole group, but from first looks of it, 7 practices in, I thought I think we're battling. I think guys are competing at a high level. Guys are working, but again, just got to continue to get better, continue to compete at a high level. But so far, it's been good.
What stood out to you
particularly?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
What stood out to you particularly about Caleb Hicks and the way that he's handled things over these first couple weeks?
Just how fast and explosive he is. Obviously really thick lower body, but a great kid. Just young, and just got to get him, the fundamentally and technical, that side of things. Got to get him squared away, but he's coming along very fast. Obviously, the school that he came from, great coaching staff, and they did a great job with him. But again, at this level, you got to be physical between the tackles. But again, his speed is extremely exceptional, and it's going to be a great thing for us.
When you see those young guys, those first-year guys last year developing their sophomore seasons, what's it like as a coach to see them become leaders and teach these younger guys how to play the game, these newcomers how to play the game?
Yeah, it's been great because they were in the same shoes as Caleb and Dalen and Chap, a year ago. But now seeing them a year later, Gavin in particular obviously put on some weight, looks totally different, body looks fantastic, and then Barnes, same thing, and as well as Tawee. Tawee's doing a great job for us. He's been extremely well in the run game for us, and just overall, all of those guys, from a year ago, as well as Marcus Major, they've improved verbally. They're all kind of quiet, but again, they're stepping out of their comfort zones to be leaders, which that's what we need.
How much has it looked better? I mean, for Javonte and Gavin, because they were around last year.
Yeah, it's great. Again, second year in the system, second year in the scheme. I mean, those guys aren't, having to think as much. They're I'm not calling them veterans yet, but they've worked extremely hard this off season, identifying the defense, understanding the scheme, understanding the run blocking, and again, just being a difference maker, in the receiving game. So, kudos to those guys with their mindsets. They came in with the right mind. I mean, they've always worked since they've gotten here. So, wouldn't expect anything less of them.
Javonte was on a scooter today. Is he all right? Is he going to be back soon?
Yeah. I'll let the head coach talk about that one.
You mentioned Javonte and Gavin. They've both talked about how they've really developed a good relationship between the two of them, dating back to last year. So maybe have you seen them kind of grow together?
I have. Again, I'm looking for a starter. Again, I mean that's why we're able to have the depth that we have here. But just speaking of those two guys, they've always had a terrific mindset. They've always had just a great working habit, and again, fortunate to have them here. But again, we got to continue to learn. We got to continue to grow, get stronger, get faster in all areas. But pleased with where they are now.
Marco, you've always talked about blocking being a major factor in who you play and that kind of thing. How is that coming along with these guys?
It's coming along well. Again, I mean, there's a lot of work to be done. Only 7 practices in. It hadn't been perfect by any means, but again, 80% of the blocking is the want to. And those guys have to want to do it, and they do. They have that part, but again, we just got to make sure the technique is exceptional every single time. We can't have a lapse here and there, but again, they've done a great job at watching film. We watch film on it, they study it, and again, going against our linebackers, our defense. I mean, they're terrific blitzers, and they time it up well. They get low, so they're physical. So it's been great for us.
How much has Gavin's finish the last season really been a confidence booster and really propel him into spring?
It's been good, but Gavin prepared the whole year to for that opportunity, and he put on so much weight. He's gotten stronger. He's gotten more physical, and that was the biggest thing from a year ago, just being more physical between the tackles. And he's definitely improved in that. Last year, just throughout the course of the season. But extremely proud of the off season he's had and the spring he's had so far.
You mentioned you're looking for a starter. We've got 2 guys that have different skill sets like that. What are some of the common things that separate that for you?
Just a guy that you can rely on every single day. A guy like Eric Gray was he was kind of our comfort blanket, and no matter what happened out there, no matter what the situation was, 2 minute short yardage, situation football, he was going to be there. He was going to get it done. So again, we got a great group of backs who are competing, for playing time and competing for that top spot. So it's been great to see, kind of sit back and watch. And again, they got the right mindset. They're, extremely talented room, but extremely close room. So for us, man, we're close as hell, but at the end of the day, we also compete. When we step out on the field.
Has it been tough for those guys to find their voice?
It hadn't. Again, we have a quiet room. So including myself, we don't do too much talking. So but again, I would rather it be that way than the other. So when there's something that needs to be said, they say it, and I respect that, and I let them. So again, man, we got some great kids on and off the field.
Marco, in between the winter workouts and the summer workouts, spring can, I guess, become a real grind. You've got a little bit of a luxury in that you've got some experienced players who are young players, don't have a lot of mileage on their legs. Does that help?
It does. I always talk about, the two most important phases, that I feel is winter workouts and summer workouts. I hadn't been through it, and just seeing other guys, get better, but, just the improvement that for myself during those two periods. Obviously, you're going to, get better in the season and spring and all that, but as far as just getting stronger, faster, more explosive, we obviously got the best strength coach in the nation, and Coach Schmidt, and, he knows what he's doing. But again, I'm excited to obviously continue to, get out here and practice. But again, I'm always looking forward to summer workouts and, getting those guys bigger, faster, stronger, and then, letting those guys kind of take, control and leadership of meetings and things of that nature, walkthroughs that we have. So it's exciting times.
Coach, I want to ask you a recruiting question because I don't think we've ever gotten a chance to get an explanation from you. What's the origin of the Yamaha tweet?
I'm from Vegas, so it was something that friends and I, close friends, they know about it. So I'll keep that between us, but it's always good news.
Are you willing to reveal the secret of the touchdown? What was that?
Yeah, just a Vegas deal. I always try to, I love obviously the 702 West Coast, and I'm from there. Obviously, I love Norman. This is my home, but I always try to, represent. Family still lives there, so it's a little fun.
You mentioned Chapman McCown a little while ago. What has he brought to the room, even as a walk-on in the couple months that he's been here?
Just toughness. He's extremely, he brings a light to the rooms, always smiling, and again, we coach hard, and it doesn't faze him. Again, really great kid on and off the field academically, but for his size, he's extremely tough. He's competitive. Again, he's been a very highlight for the room, and again, he's done some exceptional things when given the opportunity.
What's been your take on the offense at this point in spring?
Yeah, I think we're doing well. Obviously, second year in the system, guys are obviously understanding that it's not so much teaching on the fly, but again, guys understand and have a grasp for the offense and what we're trying to get accomplished. And having some veteran guys back, some leaders back, it's always great. But again, we gotta continue to work hard, continue to grind, and continue to compete at a lot of different positions. So it's been exciting.
What's been the challenge for Dalen since he didn't have that senior season?
Yeah, I've always told Dalen, just, hey, be patient. Whenever you have a year off of football, it's going to take time, and for him, I told him that, last year. I told him that 6 months ago, told him that when he first got here. So, I've been a guy that's missed some time in my career, but when you miss a full year, instinctively, it just things don't come back as natural, no matter what. So the fact that he is a mid-year, he's going to get a huge jump start on that. So it won't take him too much time. But again, he's been really good, since he's been here. But again, just taking it day by day with him, and he's done a good job.
You talk about Eric, and obviously had pro day last week. What do you feel like about his outlook at the next level, and obviously the work that he put in last Thursday?
Yeah, someone's going to get a steal. He is a terrific player, even better person. The mindset that he had every day walking in this locker room, walking to this building, was he had a pro mentality. I saw him out there. I was getting lunch, and I look outside. I took a video and sent it to my guys that there's one guy out there just working by himself, and that's Eric Gray. That's the epitome of who he is, and you're not going to have to call him and ask him to do this or to do that. He's motivated, by himself just to be great, and So whenever he gets to the NFL, man, he's gonna do a great job, and I'm excited about it.
His 40 time wasn't great, but will his film overcome that and just who he is and things?
I think so. I do, man. Eric Gray is, I think he's more football fast and straight line. The line up running 40. There's very rare times as a running back you get to have that, available. But again, his short area quickness is second to none. Obviously, his versatility in the passing game, blocking, and he's a tough runner. And I think he showed that all last year.
You got a couple of analysts and Coach Luttrell and Coach Wells. What's it like having them on the staff and seeing them on a daily basis here?
It's great. I've known Luttrell and obviously Coach Wells. We became real close last year, so that was my first time really meeting him. But again, having those veteran, head coaches who've been in the mix at top games, and always trying to pick their brains. And again, but it's always great to have them around and hear what they have to say. But again, just learning from those guys every day.
Sooner Scoop HD.